Good evening, ham radio operators, and welcome to the Weekend Wind Down Net. Before we get going, is there any emergency or priority traffic in this frequency? Alright, well, this is Ernesto KI5PZN. That's Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November, and I'm your net controller for tonight's net. This net is heard through the University Link Repeater System, KA5D, and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Repeater System, M50AK. If you're using the University Link Repeater System, make sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Repeater System, set your tone to 114.8. If you're outside of Austin, we would love to hear from you too. The way to get in is via Echolink by connecting to KA5D-R, that's Kilo Alpha 5 Delta-Romeo, or N50AK-R, that's November 5 Oscar Alpha Kilo-Romeo. You can also reach us via All-Star by connecting to node 51444. Weekend Wind Down Interact TuneNet. We get together on Sunday nights to talk about the weekend. Did you work in a project, barbecue, watched a movie, or were you stuck catching up on chores? Ham related or not, tell us, was your weekend a blast or a bust? Please note, this is a directed net, so please refer all calls to net control. Don't forget to leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. Start the Weekend Wind Down Net with a segment called Discord Dish, where we serve up our favorite Discord posts from the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Discord server. Alright, week 5 started this week with the propagation channel. Again, 10 meter is been very active, and the guys been letting us know out there. Bill M5 Estimo and James KI5UXW were out there making posts the other day, so keep an eye on 10 meter. Seems to be coming back to life again. So if you are a technician, you have a big chunk there to play with. You have from 28.300 all the way to 28.500, and that is a lot of band, believe it or not. So if you have a technician license, well, if you're a licensed ham, period, 10 meter is up. So, well, it's been active, so keep an eye on that and get out there and have fun on 10 meters. We have on the we have an actual channel for the potluck, but that's coming up on November. What's that? November the 4th. So we'd love to see you guys. We had our first one last year. That was a lot of fun. It was at McKinney Falls State Park. So check that out. That's on the Park Potluck channel. If you want to participate, I think last year we had like 30 or 40 people show up. It was a great event. So that's coming up, and that time is we'll be here in the blink of an eye. And a bunch of action on the Hamfest channel, as you guys know, or in case you didn't know, the Belton Hamfest was this weekend. So a bunch of the guys were up there hanging out and buying all kinds of goods. So if you want to see pictures of what happened, we have some pictures on the Hamfest channel. And if you have some pictures to share from the Hamfest, feel free to post them on the Hamfest channel on Discord. Plenty of activity, but obviously I've been a little bit behind on this. But we have all kinds of channels, you name it. It's all ham related and non-ham related. So if you're new ham, if you're new to the area, you might want to check that out. If you want to join the Discord server, all you have to do is go to m50ak.org, scroll down until you see the join the Discord server, and do a clicky there. We'll let you in. And there, like I said, we have channels for all kinds of topics ham related. And it's a great platform to go and ask questions and to stay up to date with what's going on in the ham community, local ham community. Again, n5oak.org. Scroll down and join the fun. It's fun to join the club, and it's fun to join the club for sure. It's free as well. What I meant to say, free to join the club and the Discord as well. Listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. Very productive weekend. Started. I've been very busy with the non-profit. This last week I digged a trench that almost killed me, but got it done. Let's see. Obviously, we had the Ham Fest on Saturday, so went out there with Rusty, Enrique, and then we bumped into a bunch of friends out there. So if you're in New Ham, this happens twice a year. The belt is like 40 minutes from here, north. It's a huge flea market, all ham related. I mean, it's just ham and CV and everything in between. So. Cool thing to go. If you're New Ham, the next one will be in April. So, and as time has shown, it will come in no time. Will be here. So that's Belton, y'all. And then after that, just packing and doing all kinds of stuff. We are moving. I'm moving the shack to North Austin again. So I've been taking everything down. I took all the antennas down, and then. Before the net, I realized that I didn't have an antenna, so I put the mast is kind of standing next to the house, all sat in there. The antenna's really low, but I'm still hitting the repeater. That's coming up. Sonny, I brought back the dual bander antenna, VHF and UHF, and the HF. I left everything else out there and don't have 11 meters for now, which is kind of sad, but. We'll see. That's, give me the opportunity to rearrange my shack when I put it back up again at the new place, and we'll see how it goes. It might be new and improved. So that's about it, I think. And, a bunch of work, good ham fun at the Ham Fest, and messing around with the radios and rearranging and packing. So I'm curious. I wonder how everybody else's weekend went. Let's call for check-ins. But before I do that, let me do an ID. The Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. Any licensed operator is welcome to check in. If you are a New Ham, this net is New Ham friendly. We'd love to hear from you. And like I say, if you are far away, you can come in through Echolink as well. So, all right, well, any mode and anywhere, if you would like to check in, please call Net Control with your name and call sign.
This is November 0, Mike Tango Victor, Kelly, currently visiting in Del Valley.
I think I got November 0 MTV. Back to you.
Whiskey 5 Kilo Yankee uniform. And we're from Independence, Missouri, active on the ham radio scene up there. So I can't go on vacation. I'm taking some radios with me, so I thought I'd check in on the local amateur scene and just started programming in some random repeaters. This is the first one I've heard any activity on, so thought I'd check in your net.
Awesome. I'll go and check with you in a little bit. Let's keep taking check-ins. If you would like to check in, please call Net Control with your name and call sign.
This is Whiskey 5 Kilo Yankee uniform.
This is Kilo India 5 Kilo Alpha Tango, Steven. Today, South Austin.
Looking for check-in. If you you'd like to check into the Weekend Wind Down Net, please call Net Control with your name and call sign.
Hi, this is Brent, Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie Zulu. Good evening.
We got 4 check-ins. Thank you guys for calling in. Let's go first and check with N0. Well, I think I'm going to have this correctly. Is it N0MTV? I'm sorry, man. I think I butchered your call sign. Back to you. How's the weekend treating you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm down here visiting with my son and grandkids, and my granddaughter's right in the seat, so that's probably sounds real nice on your end. But got Charlie talking on an FT5, and brought my G90 here to activate a park yesterday as well. We were out here too, so I did some POTA while I was here as well. Hey, I'm on vacation, right?
Very cool, man. Yeah, that's always fun to go out on vacation and bring your radios to have some radio fun. Where do you go to do POTA? Back to you.
Went to McKinney Falls State Park, which is less than 10-minute drive from my son's house in Del Valley, so that worked out pretty well. I made contacts all the way from Florida to California, and as far north as North Dakota, so not too bad on 20 watts.
Very cool, man. It's a beautiful park. I think last time we went there was for the club get together last November. But yeah, it's a great place to go. I know a bunch of guys go out there and activate that park. There's good fishing as well. If you are into that, how long are you staying in Austin? Back to you.
We're flying out Wednesday night, so I may get out and activate one more park before we go. It all depends on the schedule. But yeah, the biggest problem I had yesterday was being able to see the cursor on my laptop, so I could put in the logging program in the sun and the glare. So when I got home, I went into the settings and made my cursor dark and large, so I can at least see it now when I'm out in the sun.
Very cool. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I haven't, I talk a lot on the radio, but I haven't done POTA yet, and I could totally see that being an issue with the glare and electronics. But very cool. I'm glad you were able to work around that and able to get the computer set up so the next time you get out there, you don't have to struggle with the glare on the screen. I wonder if there are other options for that too. But I guess if you were able to figure it out with just the settings on the computer, that saves the day. You don't have to go out and spend more money on gadgets. So, well, very cool. How are you liking your HF radio? Back to you.
Well, I've only had it for about 3 weeks now, but I'm pretty impressed with it. That thing's got a really nice onboard up to 5.1 SWR, and you always know what your SWR is because it'll do a SWR sweep too. But I've picked up one of those. You've heard of them yet? They're called Real Focus NFET half-wave antennas. It looks like it's rolled up in what looks like a line chocker. But they just unwind to 66 feet. It's got a 49-1 balun on the side. So one end up in the trees, put the other one end up with the feed it up as a sliver, and you're off to the races. Signal reports anywhere from 5.7 to 5.9.
So, man, yeah, I've heard good things about that radio. Everybody that I know that owns one, they're always say good things about the radio, and it's perfect for portable as well. You're not carrying around a little anchor there, so very cool, man. Glad to hear that you're having a good time there. Weather is perfect for this type of things, because for the last few months we were here simmering in our own juices. Thank goodness that's over. Well, when do you have anything else for the net before we move on? Back to you.
Independence on the Kansas City metro area, so I always like to put in a plug for all of you guys that get on Fusion. America's Kansas City Wide Room. It's a system of repeaters in the Kansas City metro area that's, I think there's 35 or 40 repeaters now. So we don't even have to mess with wires, actually. We just go any one of those repeaters on little narrow, and we are in the wide room. And it's probably one of the most popular Wires X rooms out there. By all means, wants to come on board. We have a lot of nets. You can check them out online, find out what their net schedule is. So everybody I know that gets on it thinks it's one of the best Wires X rooms they get in. So I bid it up against Texas Nexus. I don't want to ruffle any feathers, just saying. But back to net. Thanks for running the net and all you do. This is N0 MTV.
Oh, very cool, man. Yeah, I think I have one of my radios. Well, actually, two of them will do Wires X and all of those things. I have an older FT 3D HD that looks like it's been, it's been stuff. I have like a rubber band around it because it's just falling apart. And I have an FTV 300 that I think would work with that as well. But we are lucky in this area. The repeaters stay pretty active and busy. So I get the allure of the digital. But so far I haven't have to jump over there in that area because usually, like I said, these repeaters are they stay busy. So it saved me a little bit of a learning curve on the digital world. So, but yeah, no, man, it's cool. I've heard that Texas Nexus is also pretty popular, and I hear the guys always talking about Wires X and those rooms. That's something that I have to probably get into later on. I haven't been a ham for that long, just a couple of years, so it's on my list. Well, very cool, man. Do you have anything else before we move on?
Nothing else for the net. 73s, and thanks for all you do, and appreciate letting me have a little forum. I was having a little bit of withdrawal, so scratch my itch for me. Thanks again. 73s, one and all.
Well, right on, man. Glad that you were able to make it to the net. Glad that you are having a good time here in Austin. Welcome to Austin. Hopefully we will hear from you again. All right, well, that was N0MTV, Kelly, and we are, actually, let me do a quick ID before I get in trouble here. And, all right. You're listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN, that's Papa Zulu November, and we're here every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. All right, well, let's go and check now with W5KYU. Kai, what's going on, man? How's the weekend treating you? Good seeing you at Belton.
Hey, Ernesto. I enjoy Belton. It's like my second time there. The first time I was not a ham and didn't think I would be a ham. So I think this time I definitely looked around with a different perspective. Bought a couple of things, spent some time with some of the vendors. The only thing that I learned for next time is visit the parking lot first. There's some good stuff going on out there too.
Yeah, they do have cool stuff there, and I hear that. I haven't been there on Friday. Well, I'll take that back. There was one time that we stayed there Friday night, but we didn't go to the tailgate. We were staying at the hotel. That was right after the pandemic. But I heard that on Friday night, if you get there You'll see people with flashlights going through the parking lot already, getting really good deals. And also on Saturday before the building opens, they're already having sales out there. And yes, you're right. There's a lot of stuff out there as well. What do you buy if you don't mind sharing? Back to you, Ka.
I picked up a couple of cables from ABR. They had some good stuff, and I have not gotten into making my own cables. Even though I did pick up a couple of connectors, maybe I'll try my hand on that. But I'm sure ABR can do it much better than I can. So that's the main thing, and a bunch of odds and ends from Power Electronics. They had a lot of little bits and pieces. Back to you.
Yeah, they sure do, man. They sure do. There's some vendors there that you can find pretty much anything. The part that usually makes me mad, and it happens every single time that I've been there. Oh, thank goodness for the keyboard when I have to cough. Is that you go there, and like this time around, I didn't spend a penny there. But then you get home, and you get new ideas. I'm like, hell, man, I was just there. I wish I would have known this when I was there. And it always happens, and then you have to start a list for the next one. But it was very cool. Did our league get anything? Did you know? Back to you.
I got a bunch of some connectors, some electrical connectors, and amps, and I mean not amps, fuses, yeah, and things like that. And also I picked up some an ID badge and some clothes. I feel like I need to advertise that on my ham. I'm proud of that, so I want to identify that. Back to you.
Well, very cool, man. Yeah, it's we all need one, either that or a hat or something. But yeah, it's nice. I have one. I have one of those tags. It's funny. I used to use that one all the time. All the time that we were doing hemp stuff, obviously. But then I got the hat and kind of put that one down. But for the hemp fairs, I have both of them just in case. So very cool. You know if our league got any radios or something over there too? Back to you.
I think he did most of his buy-in when he first became a ham. I think he's good for now. I think I'm going to catch up to him if that's possible. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to maybe using some of my stuff this coming weekend. I guess if you head out to Fredericksburg, it's the Ring of Fire, that partial eclipse. Back to you.
This coming weekend? Back to you.
Yes, I think this coming Saturday around noontime, you should be able to see a partial eclipse, and I think Fredericksburg is in the band. That's optimal. I think it's coming down from Seattle to Texas. This go around, and then next April it's like from Texas to Maine.
Right on. I thought it was for whatever reason further down, but all right. Yeah, I probably won't be able to go there. But if you take pictures, don't forget to share them on Discord because we would love to see those pictures. I haven't been on an eclipse, so I'm looking forward to the one on April total eclipse. That'll be really neat. I've heard all kinds of things. Have you ever been on an eclipse before? Back to you, Ka.
Maybe a few years ago here in Austin. I remember trying to look at one. It's kind of hard. You need to have either the right glasses or some kind of indirect view. So haven't really seen too many good ones or captured it. This time I still don't know how well I can capture it. We'll see.
Well, very cool, man. Yeah, I remember that one you said a couple of years ago. I remember I had an office and we stepped out and tried to do all kinds of things to watch the eclipse. It was partial. It was neat still, but yeah, I haven't been where there's a total one, but it's coming. So hopefully I will be alive when that happens, and I'll get to witness that. Well, very cool, man. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
No, that's all. It was just nice seeing you and Ray and Rusty this weekend. So I guess I'll see you in a couple weeks in the quarterly meeting. That's about it. Back to you, 73 W5KYU. Bye.
All right, have a good weekend. I mean, good week, I should say. The weekend is over. I need coffee, believe it or not. But have an awesome week, man, and we'll definitely would be hanging out in a couple of weeks. I'm definitely talking throughout the week, and I don't know if I'll see you on Saturday or not. But oh no, you're going to the Eclipse. I'm going to be going to breakfast with the old man. So, all right, well that was Scott W5KYU, and let me do a quick ID. You are listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. All right, we were talking to Khan. Now we're going to go check with Steven, KI5KAT. Steven, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Well, the weekend treated me pretty well. We got the trunking system partially up and running. We've only got it on VOC mode, which means that it's the same channel for control and voice due to an issue, but we got it up and running, and so the coverage is about the same as the KA5D system, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Really, really cool. It's got good coverage because KA5D system's got pretty decent, well, pretty good, actually, not decent, pretty good, awesome coverage there. So that's really awesome. How many people do you have on that band right now, you know, active now? Back to you, Steven.
Well, worldwide, we have about 70 to 80 sites worldwide, and they're all linked in more and more every day, basically. So, you know, probably 100 by the end of the year.
So this system is also linked to other systems in other places. I thought it was more like a local thing. Back to you.
Oh, no, yeah, no, this is linked all over the world. So, anybody that wants to, like, join usually has a hotspot, which is kind of like a MMDVM board, and so they're all linked in to this system. So, you're going to get people from all over the world, mostly U.S., but you will get a couple people from other countries as well. So, do not be surprised about that. And remember, this is commercial, so you're going to hear them identifying a little weirdly, but if you want to get onto the system, please do not just try to join the system without talking to myself or another administrator first, because that could get the radio disabled. Back to you.
Man, no, we don't want any of that. So if people want to join the network, how do they get a hold of you? Back to you.
Roger. So it's going to be Discord. So discord.gg/Charlie Tango Romeo Sierra CTRS. So discord.gg/CTRS, and you'll just say, hey, I'm in the Austin area. I have a P25 radio. I need a radio ID. That's all you got to do. Back to you.
Well, very cool, man. For those of you guys out there who are interested in that, well, now you know who to ping, KI5KAT, and he will point you into the right direction. Well, very cool, Steven. Good seeing you also at Belton. I saw you from the distance. By the time I got to your table, you were gone, so I figured you probably shopping around. Did you get any goodies from Belton? Back to you, Steven.
Yeah. I'm going to just say yeah. Definitely yeah. So we found for the CPRS whole system, we found a 5-channel Kenwood combiner and 5-channel Kenwood multiplexer for $300, which is just absolutely ridiculous price. That's going to basically allow us to have 2 antennas, which we just installed today, and 5 channels on each side. So normally those things cost upwards of thousands to $10,000s of dollars, and we found one for $300. So, amazing. Back to you.
That's a steal. That's really cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's the beauty about Belton. You just never know what you're gonna find, and sometimes you get really, really, really good deals. Well, very cool, Stephen. Thank you for sharing that. Do you have anything else for the net, my friend, before we move on?
One more thing. As soon as I get a couple more programming cables and stuff like that, I'll have a couple radios available to those that are interested in P25 trunking to be able to rent out. Of course, free to the Oak, because Oak is what got me into ham radio, so of course I'm going to just let y'all use them. Got about 5 or 6 radios that I can rent out. If you want to try your hand at P25, let me let it drop. And yeah, so if you're interested, I will get you a radio ID and a radio, and we'll go from there. KI5, KAT.
Well, very cool, Stephen. And for those of you guys listening, if you're interested, you can contact Stephen, and he'll get you hooked up there with the truncate radios and get you into the system. Well, very cool, Stephen. Appreciate you checking into tonight's net. I hope you have an awesome week, and we'll be talking to you soon, man. All right, well, that was Stephen, KI5KAT. Now we're going to go and check with Mr. Brent. KJ5, Charlie Zulu. Brent, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you? Good seeing you at Belton, my friend.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Carousing the aisles. So much eye candy there. I wish I had more of an understanding what everything meant. I definitely went home with sensory overload, but it was a lot of fun. I resisted temptation. I came home with the money I pulled out of the ATM.
Well, man, that's I totally get it. Still remember when I went to my first ham fest, and it was kind of like that. It was overwhelming. I didn't know half the stuff that I was looking at. I didn't know anybody to begin with either. So it was interesting, you just look around and trying to figure things out. But it gets easier as you spend more time on the radio and talking to other nerds. Then you get you get a little better, and then you as you go more to those ham fairs, you start to spend more money and learn more stuff about ham radio. Did you like it overall? Back to you.
We would go to the next one. It's really nice to see the comradeship and, a couple of guys hook up and get their jargon on and start talking. It's like a couple of hard drives hitting at full steam when some of these people would get talking. It was nice to see the conversations flow back and forth. And you can definitely see the love of the art there. Everybody, for the most part, was really nice, and I enjoyed it. I'm kind of a swamp meat junkyard garage sale kind of guy once in a while, but yeah, electronics, I never realized as a child how much I tinkered in all the radios I built, stuck the speaker wires together, wired 2 batteries together to try to make it louder, etc. When I was a kid. Back to you.
No, man, it's a fun hobby. So many aspects of it. you get to talk to people from all over the place. You get to open the radios up and mess with them and burn them and fix them and, you know, and break them too. A little bit of everything. So, no, absolutely. Plus, you know, the people are fun, for sure. What do you end up doing with your antenna? What are you using for an antenna right now? Or are you coming in through Echolink?
Through my antenna, I stuck it on that base unit that Paul gave me, and I stuck it up the top of my antenna. It's kind of even with the bottom with a upstairs window from my neighbor, so they can't see it. And yeah, even when I checked in, I was on my rubber ducky antenna. I had to jam to the store. When I got home, I unscrewed that, and then I got to my big antenna, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. Back to you.
Very cool, man. Yeah, it's working. It's working. What repeater are you coming into? Which one are you using? Back to you.
TMT seems to be the loudest. I think that's John. The loudest, and I go to Oak Hill, and it gets a little bit fainter. Back to you.
Well, very cool, man. Well, it's working. It's working, and we are very happy to hear you coming in via RF. Obviously, yeah, it's one of those things, man. You know, you get into the hobby and you start figuring things out, what works, what doesn't work from your location, because everybody's got a different circumstances, and what works for somebody might not work for the next person. So, yeah, it's one of those things, man. It seems like you are working out all the bugs, and like I said, I'm glad to hear that, you know, you are here now on the radio through RF, and very cool, man. That's it's a cool thing, man. It's a happy thing to hear a ham guy getting on the radio and getting all of the problems solved and being able to make it to the repeater. Back to you.
Shout out to Philip, to Paul, to you, to everybody who helped me. John, everybody would jump in and give me their wisdom on the radio. And Paul came out with his SWR meter, and we moved things around and found a sweet spot. And because I was right on the edge, I wasn't getting anything. I could hear everybody really clear, but they couldn't hear me until we got the antenna up higher. And it kind of goes over some fences, believe it or not, and just below some high-powered power lines. And that way I'm able to reach the right frequency so I can listen. But yeah, it took a little work and a little effort, and you guys on it. I really appreciate it again. Back to you, Ernesto.
Oh, you bet, man. It's just ham radio, and everybody likes, you know, helping each other. And yeah, and usually when Paul talks, we will listen. He's been, I think he's been a ham longer than Rusty's been alive. So when Paul says something, we usually pay attention. He's been a ham for a long, long time, man. Well, very cool, Brent. Yeah, like I said, I'm really happy to hear that things are coming along with the radios, and you're able to sort all of the issues. We all started the same way, having all kinds of hiccups. But you know, we work through them, and things get more fun. You know, it's one of those things that you once you figure things out, ham radio, it's a lot of fun. Well, very cool, Brent. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on, my friend?
Can't wait for the potluck. 73, thank you very much.
Right on, man. Yeah, that's a fun event on the 4th of November, the potluck at McKinney Falls. And we have all that information on the Discord channel and on the website. You can go to m5oak.org and check that out. Well, that was Brent, KJ5 Charlie Zulu, and that was my last check-in on the first round. So I am going to be looking for more check-ins if you would like to check into this awesome net. All you have to do is call Net Control with your name and your call sign.
This is WZ5BBS Rusty, Northwest Austin.
Got Rusty. Anybody else would like to check in, please call Net Control with your name and call sign. Rusty shushed him away. Rusty, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you, my friend?
I scared off all your people, man. The weekend was great. The weather could not have been more fantastic. We went to Belton Saturday morning and got to see a bunch of people, so that was a whole lot of fun. And then today got up and Doug came over. We watched some F1, dorked around the house, and then we went down to your house to pick up some stuff. And just got back from dinner, as a matter of fact. So it was a fun day hanging out with Doug, watching F1 and goofing off. So all in all, it was a great weekend.
Very cool, man. Yeah, no, that was fun seeing you guys, and Lance also stopped by too. We had a little meeting there without planning it. That was fun. Always fun to seeing you guys. But very cool, man. Yeah, no, it's the weather's really, really, really nice. Finally, it's funny that I said that when the weather was, cooled down, I was gonna go and fix some of the antennas, and what I ended up was just taking them down. But I guess still beats having to do the same thing at 110 degrees. But we'll get there when we'll get there. It's funny. I'm running the net and packing stuff away in boxes here in the shack as I do this, but. Oh man, we'll see how this goes. Do you buy anything at Belton, Rusty?
I didn't. I looked around and there was a bunch of fun stuff, but at the end of the day, I saw two radios. They were both, one was just a 2-meter radio. It was a Yaesu 1500 or something, and I liked it just because it was tiny and cool looking, and it was a 50 watts. So it was a cool radio, but the price wasn't right. And the other one was a Kenwood, and it was at least, it was both. It was dual band, 2 meters, 70 centimeters. But it wasn't, I didn't want it as much as I wanted the other one. And when I found out it was just a 2 meter, I kind of lost attention. So, nope, I just went and walked around and chatted with people. Nothing to purchase.
Right on, man. How do you compare this one to the previous one that you've been to? Back to you.
I think inside was good. It had a lot of people there, so there were very few empty tables there. So the inside was fun. It was a nice reprieve. It was kind of cold in the morning when we got there, so we went in and did the kind of 7:30 a.m. run through the middle, and then the parking lot stuff. It didn't seem like there was as many people this year. So I thought maybe, I don't know if that was the weather or just what it was, but I thought the parking lot swap meet definitely had fewer people.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I remember last time we went in like April or March, the parking lot, it was just packed. It was just tables everywhere and all kinds of equipment all over the place. So this time around was a little bit thinner, in my opinion, the inventory and the vendors as well. And yeah, it was kind of cold, but still, I'll take that over suffering in the heat. And I didn't see any other events next door like in the past. Maybe they hadn't, but I guess we stepped out and left before that. I wonder if I guess I should have left the raffle tickets with somebody after we left, but I doubt that they called my number. Did you win anything on the raffle by any chance?
I won nothing. They gave you 2 raffle tickets this year, and I was like 454 and then like 500. Like I was like 503 and 504, and we got there and threw my tickets in there, and the first numbers they drew when I was there was like 454, 501. So I was super close, and then it was like the rest of the ones they called, it was like 454, like 900 or something. So I don't know if they were turning them or what was going on, but no, I didn't get anything on the raffle.
No, same here. I didn't even get close. At least you got close and got some emotions there. I didn't get anything. It was just all like, super far away from my numbers. Could be worse, but it was fun. I had a great time. I thought it was, great, and we, bumped into a bunch of good people that we know, plus the ones that we met, and it's a fun event for sure. Do you have any fun plans for the week, Rusty? Back to you.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is maybe being able to keep the house open. That would be kind of nice. I had the house open all weekend, and as soon as I got home, I opened the house up again. So hopefully the weather will hang out and be nice, even if it's just during the evenings. But looking forward to some good weather. And now, man, just same old for the most part. Nothing exciting.
Well, right on, man. Yeah, it feels good to be able to open the windows without, starting sweating and suffering. Well, very cool, Rusty. I appreciate you checking into the net. Do you have anything else before we move on?
No, sir, man. Howdy to everybody out there. We missed Sky. I don't know if I just turned the radio on, so I don't know if we missed Sky on the net or not, but we missed Sky at Belton. So maybe we'll hear from Sky if we haven't already. But howdy to everybody, and we'll catch you next week. WZ5BBS, back to net control.
Hi, Rusty. Well, thank you for checking in, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Hope you have an awesome week, and we'll be talking soon for sure. That was Rusty, WZ5BBS. This was my last check-in, and you are listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net. Hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN. We're here every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. And we're using the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system as well. All right, well, I am looking for check-ins. If you would like to check in to this awesome net, all you got to do is call net control with your name and your call sign.
This is Alex.
I got Sky. Anybody else would like to check in, please call net control with your name and call sign. Well, all right. Well, Sky, it sounds like we Beetlejuice you. We're talking about you. How is the weekend treating you, man?
Hey, Ernesto, and hi to everybody out there. It's been kind of a bust. I'm kind of under the weather, but I'm getting better. I had all kinds of plans. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I just turned on the radio, and I heard the tail end of something. I heard my name, so I thought, well, I better check in and say hello to everybody. But I hope everybody's had a good weekend, and I'm sure things will be better for me this week. So I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Well, Sky, I'm sorry to hear that you are under the weather. Definitely, we are missing you on the radio and on the get-together. You are one of the famous hams in Austin, Texas. Everybody likes you, knows you. But yeah, no, man, that's a bummer. Like I said, I hope that you can shake that off soon and you can get back to living an epic life. Did you do any radio during the weekend by any chance? Back to you, Sky.
I didn't have a lot of energy, but yeah, I did get on the radio for a few minutes a couple of times. And even though I didn't really do much, I actually did make a couple of contacts. One was Slovenia, and another one was kind of interesting. It was the Mobile, Alabama USS Drum. I think it's a World War II submarine, and there were some guys on there in the radio room playing radio. It's not even in the water. I think it's like on display somewhere, but I don't know. It was kind of interesting. I think I made another contact with W1AW Portable 5. I think it was in New Mexico, but the guy didn't want to talk, so I didn't really get much information out of him. But, I did a couple of radio things.
cool, man. What band were you using for Slovenia when you contacted Slovenia? Back to you.
It seems like all the DX I've heard lately has been on 10 meters, like in the morning, first half of the day. I think to get the Far East, I think you have to get up pretty early in the morning to do that. I'm not sure. But I listened a little bit to 20, 15, and 10. And 10 seemed like where the interesting stuff was, at least in the morning.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I haven't been on 10 in a while, and I don't think I'll be able to go on 10 meters for a little bit because I just took my antenna down this morning for 10 meters, which sucks because, it's getting active. But for those of you out there that are listening, that's another reminder, 10 meters, back up, and if, all you have to have is just a ham license. You don't have to be general or extra to participate. If you are licensed ham operator, you can get in, and like I said earlier, you have from 28.300 all the way to 28.500, and there's a lot of activity in that part of the band when the band is open. Well, cool, Sky. Glad to hear that, even though you are, going through some stuff and you're under the weather, we're able to get on the radio and, have some fun. That usually, helps with feeling better for sure. Well, Sky, do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
No, just looking forward to hanging out with everybody on the next net, and maybe I guess we got a club meeting coming up and potluck too, so I'm looking forward to that. This is N5LX. Back to you.
Yeah, man, we got a couple of fun things coming up. The quarterly meeting. It's not this weekend. The coming weekend, the following, the 21st, I think that's the one. And the potluck. Those are two really fun events. Hopefully everything goes well with everything, and we all can attend. But very cool, man. Well, thank you, Sky. I appreciate you checking into the net. Like I said, I hope you feel better soon, and you can snap out of that thing and get back to business as soon as possible. Well, that was Sky and 5LX. They check into the weekend wind down net. And you can do that too if you want to. All you have to do is call Net Control with your name and call sign.
November 5, Whiskey, Romeo Whiskey.
Got Dwight here. Dwight, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Oh, pretty good. I got most of this stuff here working. Made a bunch of CW contacts during the slow speed test on Thursday, and I think I think generally stuff is working here.
Well, cool, man. I didn't know you were to CW. You've been doing CW for a while now? Back to you.
Well, after a fashion, I go back far enough that I had to pass at 13 words a minute to get my general, and then I promptly didn't use it for a long time. I've been taking a class with the CW Academy or the Morse, whatever it is, and it's twice a week, and then we're supposed to practice for an hour a day too, and I've been, there's a lot of material available online, and we have to do a bunch of sending too. They give us things that are hard to send, and we work on that. N5WRW.
Very cool, man. I've been learning CW now for probably close to a year. I'm not a fast CW by any means. I'm not a fast skier. Very slow. And the way I'm working it is I'm trying to learn to do head copy on CW, so that's taking me longer than if I would just write it down like a regular person. But that's my goal, to get to that point, and it's working out. I can now hear words, short words here and there when hearing a QSO on CW. So it's practice. Practice is what seems to be making the thing. If you don't practice constantly, it gets harder to learn. Like any other language, it's basically you have to. The more you use it, the easier it gets for your brain to communicate in that other flavor. Well, cool, man. Was that you said Thursday night? Was that the Oak Hill CW Net, or was that with the CW Academy? Back to you, Dwight.
Yeah, it was the CW Academy. You have to sign up ahead of time, and we have the class on Zoom. Seems to work out pretty well.
Very cool, man. Well, we have, in case you didn't know, we have a CW Net every Thursday night. I have a piece of paper here. Let me grab it. Yeah, it's every Thursday night at 7:30, and that's on the 3.532 megahertz, 3532. That's on 80 meters. 7:30, from like 7:30 to 8 o'clock every Thursday night. I sometimes jump in there and annoy the guys with my bad skills, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to join in on Thursday, man. Back to you.
Well, I'll at least listen, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not incredibly fast, but I've been pushing, and it seems like I've made some progress, but, we'll see. N5WRW.
Oh, cool, man. But yeah, it's there. Like I said, we have that net every Thursday at 7:30, and everybody is welcome. All levels of skills, and even if you need to use for those of you who need to use a computer or want to use a computer to send and receive, you can do that too. Everything is allowed there on the CW Net. And again, that's for those of you guys that are listening and are interested, that is on the 3.532 megahertz frequency at 7:30 on Thursday. Well, Dwight, do you have anything else for the net? Back to you.
Nothing much. Got my amplifier going, and everything seems to be working pretty well at my HF station.
Good thing to hear. Did you get to go to Belton by any chance? Back to you.
I thought about going, but it was a bit far by myself, so I decided not to do that.
Right on, man. Well, for the next one, just, let us know. As we usually get on Discord, and people, find other people to go carpool. Usually we go in groups like that, but keep that in mind. For the next one in April, feel free to jump on Discord and ask the guys, because there's a bunch of people usually driving from here, from Austin, to Belton. So that's, something, like I said, something to keep in mind, because it's a fun event for sure. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
Nope, haven't got any more traffic. Just sitting here trying to clean up the Stygian mess my shack is. N5WRW.
No, man, I hear you. I'm packing my stuff away, and it's just, it's a pain. Well, very cool, Dwight. I appreciate you checking in to tonight's net. I hope you have an awesome week, and hope to see you next weekend, either at breakfast or here on the net, or both. That was Dwight, N5WRW. And let's see, we can still take more check-in. So if you would like to check in to the Weekend Wind Down Net, please call Net Control with your name and your call time.
This is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha November.
We got David and 5YAN. David, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you, my friend?
Well, yesterday was a lot of fun. The UT Club went down to Belton, up to Belton for the Hamfest, and we had two people get their technician ticket. One member upgraded to general, and then our club president, Young, upgraded to general, and then tried it for extra. Didn't get it the first try, got it on the second try. So we're all very proud of him. The club bylaws specified that you needed to have at least a general class license to be club president, and now there's no, he got extra, so we don't have any reason to keep making fun of him. Back to Net.
Well, that's impressive, man. That's very impressive. That's a very difficult exam, and going for both of them, that's pretty. I've always thought that Young, for whatever reason, was already an extra or general. Maybe because he was the president of the club. I assume that. But very cool. Really happy to hear that. What license level do you have, David? Back to you.
Ernesto, I got my technician class license back in 2017, and every summer after that for the next 2 years, I upgraded. So I upgraded to general in 2018, and then I got my amateur extra license in July or August of 2019.
Oh boy, you got all the all of the belts. You're a black belt on this thing for quite a long time by now, man. Very impressive. Very cool, man. Well, and then you got more. You think those guys are going to be checking in? The new guys, the new technicians are going to be checking in too on the UT Wednesday net. Do you think? Back to you.
I appreciate the black belt comment, but really with school, I haven't had that much time to operate and actually gain experience. So especially on HS, I'm quite the poor operator, a lid, if you will. And yes, the new members, Colby McLean, and I am blanking on the second guy's name. I believe it was Carmania. Both of them are very, very enthusiastic amateur radio operators. Colby purchased a Red Baofeng radio, and he's been carrying it around with him all the time, listening to fire, EMS, transmissions, and also listening into the UT net. Carmania also has been really interested in the CTRS, Central Texas radio system, or trunk to radio system, or whatever. And they're both incredibly passionate about radio, and I think they'll definitely be checking into the net, possibly even running it. Also another thing, real quick break. My friend Scott, Scott Foutwell, he's part of the Denton County Amateur Radio Association. He actually donated 2 handy-talkies to these two young new members of the club. One of them was an ICOM handy-talkie, and the other was a Radio Oddity one. I'm not exactly sure on the model numbers, but so especially with their new free toys, I think they will definitely be participating in amateur radio because they seemed incredibly excited about all this. November 5, Yankee Alpha November, back to net.
Well, David, that's really cool. It's nice to see young people getting into ham radio. It's refreshing to see new young folks getting into this, and very cool. Yeah, man, I'll be looking forward for Wednesday night and see if hear the new hams checking in. That'll be cool. And man, you're already pushing them to run net control. Don't scare them away. Let them warm up the mic first. But very cool. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys are young and tenacious. So. Really cool, man. Do you have anything else for us? Well, I'm always going to ask you something before I move on. Did you buy anything at Belton? Back to you.
I was a good ham radio operator this year, and I did not buy anything. However, I did succumb to a free item. Someone was selling a three-phase transformer. That is all I know about it. It is a little larger than my hand. In the XY direction, it's probably about 3.5 inches tall, and the thing weighs at least 15 pounds. It's a brick. So, of course, I had to take it. It looks really cool on my bookshelf. It's just a gray box with some contacts coming out of it.
Well, very cool, man. Yeah, no, absolutely. And if it's free, give me two. You know, that's the best. That's the best price for everything. Well, cool, man. Glad to hear that. I like collecting things like that too. I have some odd bookends and think that they're obviously we're not designed for it to be bookends and things like that. But I like collecting things like that are unusual and perhaps repurposing them. Well, very cool, David. David, do you have anything else for the net? Back to you.
Thanks, Ernesto. And I actually do have a quick question. So my job requires a drug test, and I'm not worried about passing it. I don't want to anger anyone on the net, but I'm curious if anyone knows of any good drug testing providers in the North Austin area close to the UT campus. I found a few, but the reviews are incredibly mixed and mostly about blood drawing lab tests. This is just a standard urine sample test. And if anyone has information about that, I would really appreciate it, because supposedly I need to get it to them within 5 days of signing the agreement, and I plan to sign the agreement on Tuesday, so I kind of need to scramble. November 5, Yankee Alpha November, back to net.
Break.
Go ahead, comment.
N5WRW. I think you could go. I went to Quest Diagnostics to have a bunch of things, blood drawn, blah 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 blah, and strangely enough, here in Buda, they were inside the Walmart, but they were real professional and and very nice. So I don't know if they can do it for you, but I imagine there's Quest places just everywhere. N5WRW.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I saw one Quest location, but it was just like a standalone location. I'll look into that more, and I appreciate the feedback. N5YAN, back to net.
Drive for that comment. And David, the last time I got a drug test, I was working a corporate job, and that's close to a quarter of a century ago, so I'm not any help on that. And the last time actually that I got one of those was for a life insurance, and the nurse came to the house, so it's been too long. But I know Dell used to use a lab that back in the days used to be in Anderson Lane, and I remember that's the place that I went. But it's been too long, and perhaps they might not even be in business. But check what Dwight told you there. You might find it. I'll probably do Google. I'm sure you've already done that. But since that's urine test, it's not like you have to be worried about people messing your arm up or something like that. But I would, check with the place that Dwight told you, and I'll check too on my side if I see one that I will recognize. Although it's been too long, I'll ping you too. Back to you.
N5WRW.
Right.
Yeah, I checked. They definitely do that, and a lot of doctors use them. They're reliable, I think, and they're everywhere. I know that's who my sister used when she was in private practice for 30 years, and that's who she used out in Arizona. They're sort of the McDonald's of labs. N5WRW.
Right, did you get that, David?
Yep, I got it, and I'm looking up the Quest Diagnostics locations in Austin, and yeah, there's some pretty close. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to get there and do the test without missing class somehow. I have 2 exams coming up this week, so the timing is not great whatsoever, but you know, sometimes you just have to make things work. November 5, Yankee Alpha November, back to net.
Well, very cool, man. Sure you'll find a good spot there to get that done. And yeah, man, good luck with all those things. And yeah, every time you get, I think yeah, pretty much all. I think all the corporate jobs require that kind of stuff. So get used to that. It just happens quite often. Well, David, do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
No, I don't.
WRW.
Say thanks to everyone who came to Belton and who's been checking into the UT Amateur Radio Club nets. It's been fun, and I'm going to get back to homework and listening to the net. 7-3s, November 5, Yankee Alpha November. Back to you, Ernesto.
All right, David. Dwight, I heard you there. David, thank you again for checking in to tonight's net, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Good seeing you, all of you guys at Belton, and hope you have an awesome week, and then you get that drug test out of the way soon. Dwight, what's going on, man? You had it coming there.
Yeah, as a highly paid public school teacher, I had to get a DTS background check and be fingerprinted. That always makes you feel like you're, worthwhile.
Oh no, man, I know. I got for work. Everybody and their moms got my fingerprints and everything. I had a nerdy federal license, and yeah, no, I totally get it. They check all your stuff, and yeah, man, it's just we just gotta keep it cool so we don't get in trouble with anybody out there. But yeah, totally, Dwight. I get it. It's an annoyance having to do those things, but it's what it is. It's something that we can't avoid. We might have to start doing those drug tests here for the club members too. Well, all right. Well, that was David, and you are listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI-Fi PZN. We're here on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. And we were talking to David N5YAN. We can say, I can't talk. Still take some check-in. So if you'd like to check into the net, please call Net Control with your name and your call sign. Well, sounds like it's closing time. I can't sing that song because this is ham radio. But before we close the net, let me read you the list of the local nets so that you can stay radioactive throughout the week. And we get started on Mondays with the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club 6-meter Monday, and that's on the 50.125 megahertz frequency at 8 p.m. every Monday. We also have the Williamson County Amateur Radio Club Newham net. That's on the 146.640 repeater. All of these nets are 8 p.m. on Monday. The weekly YL net on the Oak Hill repeater system, and the Texas A&M University Amateur Radio Club Information and Training net. That's on the University Link repeater system at 8 p.m. as well. Yeah, 4 nets on Monday night. Tuesdays, we have the Absolute Tech Net. That's coming through the Oak Hill repeater system at 6 p.m. And at 8 p.m., the Oak Hill Southside Simplex hosted by Ray. Uncle Ray, K5BZI. That's on the 146.555 megahertz, 146.555 at 8 p.m. Wednesdays, we have the UT Amateur Radio Club Wednesday net. That's through the University Link repeater system, and the N5OAK repeater system is at 8 p.m. as well. Thursdays, we have two nets. We have the Oak Hill CW net, hosted by Pat, W5WTH, on the 3.532 megahertz frequency at 7:30. And at 8 p.m., the Oak Hill Thursday night net, hosted by a different operator every week, and that's on the N5OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system. Friday, but only on the last Friday of the month, the Traveling Taco Net, hosted by yours truly, KI5PZN, and that's the net where you guys send me an email, invite me over to your shack. I show up with tacos, we eat tacos, we talk to the guys on the radio, and we have a fun time. That's on the last Friday of the month, and for this month, we will be visiting David, N5YAN, and we'll be hanging out with him at the end of the month. So stay tuned for that one. Saturdays, we have three nets. We get started around 10 a.m. with the K5LBJ News and Information net. That's from the guys from the Lhasa High School. And that's on the N5OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system again, around 10 a.m. on Saturdays. At 7 p.m. on Saturdays, the Austin Amateur Radio Club Elmer's Net, hosted by Jeff N5MNW on the 146.940 megahertz repeater. Again, that's at 7 p.m. every Saturday. After that one, Fun Net, and that's on the 220 megahertz. That's the 220 megahertz, guys, original preservation net, hosted by Steve, KB9DSQ. And that's on the 224.100 megahertz repeater, 224.100 at 9 p.m. Or, if you don't have a 220 radio or you cannot hit the repeater, you can go to Echolink and connect to WM9WR. That's Whiskey Mike Niner Whiskey Dash Romeo. Sunday is another busy day. We have four nets. We get started with the Austin Amateur Radio Club 10-meter weekly net, and that's on the 28.410 megahertz at 3 p.m. At 7 p.m., the Travis County Aries weekly net on the 147.360 megahertz repeater. 7:30, this one, the Weekend Wind Down net, hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN on the University Link repeater system and the N5OAK repeater system. Again, we get started at 7:30 every Sunday. And coming up at 9 p.m., the Austin Amateur Radio Club Swap Net, hosted by Jeff N5MNW, and that's on the 146.940 megahertz repeater, again at 9 p.m., so go and check them out. It's coming up in a couple of minutes, well, 10 minutes. And don't forget to go to n5oak.org to check the calendar for the DMR machine. We have nets there almost every night. Plus, you get to see all of these nets on that calendar on the N5OAK website. Let's get a count on tonight's check-in. And we have 8 check-ins tonight. Thank you guys for not letting me talk to dead air. That was Kelly, Ka, Steven, Brent, Rusty, Sky, Dwight, and David. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. All right, well, thank you for joining me tonight on the Weekend Wind Down Net. I hope that even if your weekend was a bust, and definitely if it was a blast, that we all keep the momentum. Focus on the positive, and here is to a great start to your week. Thank Kyle, K5D, and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club and N5OAK for letting me use their repeater system to run this net. To learn more about the University Link repeater system, please visit ka5d.com. If you would like more information about the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, including how to become a member and how to join the club Discord server, please visit n5oak.org. So KI5PZN, and from my QTHU in East Austin, Texas, 73, and thanks again for participating and listening tonight. This system is now returned to regular amateur use. Good night, y'all. support you, man. You know that.
Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu, November 5, Yankee Alpha, November.
David.
Did I actually sign up to run the Traveling Taco Net?
Well, I hope that you don't get in trouble with that test that you are about to take at the clinic. But yes, you did. You said it would be cool to run it on in October. But let me know if for whatever reason you can't. And I understand that you're a busy guy. But yeah, you did, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I just forgot, man. So I just put up an announcement in the UT club saying if people want to help run the net, they can do it on campus. My apartment is tiny, so and I don't have like a good spot for running a mobile rig. So I think it'd be fun to go host this somewhere on campus with like a park area. I've got a few places in mind. Also, because I don't think my current roommate would appreciate it. Yeah. So if you check the UT Amateur Radio Club Discord server, you can find some info there.
Yeah, we talked about that, and the idea was to run it outdoors. Now that the weather is nice, we can do like a tailgate thing. That was the first conversation. So let me know. Yeah, I'm more than happy to do it in the park. That'll be even cooler because there be a different flavor for the net. I have an 818 that I can take with me, and Rusty also's got his mobile, his Go box, and we can bring that in as well. And we can run it from there too, man. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, again, just let me know.
It sounds like it'll be fun. We already have a few sign-ups, so it'll be a fun time. I think I'll bring some nopales. That's my favorite favorite type of taco. So yeah, it'll be a fun time. I'll start looking for places on campus. Right now, I think the place where we hit the first Fox would be great. It's like a little park area with some tables and chairs. It's a nice place, and plenty of room to set up an antenna and a radio. I should really get back to work though, so it's been nice chatting, and we can talk about this more some other time. November 5, Yankee Alpha, November. Back to you.
Yeah, David, no pressure. We'll find a place. It'll be fun, and I'll be the one bringing the tacos, so don't worry about any of that stuff, man. This is KFI PZN.
Looks like you have a little more in common with James than you thought there, huh, David? WZ5BBS.
Hey, I'm not late, I'm just forgetful.
I know, I just couldn't resist. Talk to you later, man.
You have a good one, Rusty. Hopefully you aren't as tired as you were during Belton. What I'm talking about. November 5, Yankee Alpha, November, 7-3.
This is KG5 PKP Mobile. Ernesto, you still on?
Jerry, what's going on, man? It's KFI PZN.
Stand by. This is KG5 PKP. I'm back again. What did you say? There was a 6-meter net on Monday night?
Yes, sir. We have the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club 6-meter Monday night, and that's every Monday at 8 p.m. on 50125. At 8 p.m. on 50125 every Monday night. Back to you, Jerry.
Okay, I got a 6-meter band here in my truck. I'm gonna try to get on that, and that'll be at 6 p.m. on Monday night.
At 8 p.m. It's at 8 p.m. every Monday, 8 p.m. on the 50125.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll try to be there. This will be KQ5 PKP. I'll be clear. I'll be out. Bye bye.
Hi, Jerry. You have a good night, and we look forward to seeing you on the 6-meter Monday net. You have a good night. 73. This is KI5 PZN.